Hello everyone and welcome again. So we'll be doing a review today and we will be showing some clips. Now let's get into it. The starting of the movie you saw somebody spying on the a late mayor before he passed on, um Mitchell, the late mayor Mitchell, on top of the roof, literally spying on him with the music Ave Maria playing uh, at the background, on the black background of the video. And you could see Mayor Mitchell and his family literally playing and his son having fun at the same time. And this is the thing, while Mayor Mitchell was he was a candidate running for mayor of Gotham City at the time. Now, with that being said, we passed on quickly. The next scene, this particular scene came up where Mayor Mitchell was actually watching the TV and the news report, and also literally watching how he and his candidate Bella Real was going at it. Well, at this particular point, we are gonna play this small clip over here so you can see what happened. Give me a second.
Capone here wants to gut the Gotham Renewal Program.
The renewal program is broken. Crime's gotten us. Crime has skyrocketed.
Why is she still tied?
Okay, we are gonna stop it there because later on you heard Mayor Mitchell. I think he was actually talking to Falcone in the next clip that we will be talking of, and also with the Riddler being in the room. Yes, the Riddler in this movie was introduced to us very, very early in this movie. Now let's get on to it. Now Mayor Mitchell was watching the poll, watching the result, watching the interview that he had to do with Bella. Is it Bella Real? And I think the person I am, because he didn't say who he was talking to, but in my mind, I think that he was talking to Falcone, and he was probably asking why the way still untied, because you can hear in the commentary where he said, "Why is it a tie? I should," which means he probably was thinking he should have won the election. And since they were both candidates, and he had Falcone probably had him Falcone had Mitchell in his pocket. And we're gonna talk about, because this is another thing, we started understanding more about the Wayne's family, because the Wayne's family, a lot of stories came to life. Unlike many of Batman's movie, other Batman movies did not actually explicitly speak about what and the family history of the Wayne's family. Most likely, they would cover it up, talk about the father and the parents, of Bruce Wayne just being attacked on the street and both of them losing their life. But in this particular Batman, what I love about this Batman is that there's a lot of explanation and reasons for everything that happened. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna go on to this small scene here where Mitchell was actually, I think he was talking to Falcone.
Okay, you know what? I can't watch this anymore. Just call me in the morning. He still believes in everything this city.
We need a leader, Mr. Mitchell, not a cheerleader.
Okay, I'm sorry. That came in too fast because I had to edit the movie and make sure that every of the scene. So if we pass on to the next topic quickly because of the movie, don't be worried. We will talk about it. Now, you can see him being unhappy about what is happening at the poll and the election poll and what is happening. He did not even notice that somebody had broken into his house. He did not notice that the Riddler was behind him until he actually got attacked by him. So the Riddler actually attacked Mitchell inside of his house. This was the first case, and I think this was the time we see everybody coming together. Like you can see Batman and Detective Jim, the Inspector Jim, coming together and talking about a lot of things. And we will get into that some more. So let's just continue where we stop with these.
The city streets are crowded for the holiday. I must choose my targets carefully. Come on! Give me the money! I can't be everywhere. Now knock his ass out. The hell are you supposed to be?
Okay, now I'm gonna stop it there because I'm gonna say something that really baffles me all the time about Batman's character is him walking out from the dark and literally becoming a vigilante and fight. I wonder how he can fight. Like I think in the group there were like 30 people. I'm like, okay, I don't understand how you can fight 30 people alone. Because Batman has no power. He has no superpower. And he can fight everybody. He can actually fight everybody. It is actually, you know what? It's a comic. So we're gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. With that being said, this particular train scene was one of the most I'm gonna say thrilling scene because I actually watched a lot. You saw the guy in the train, he is coming out, and you saw this group of gangs literally try. I think the younger man that was with them in the train, because he had his face painted half, not fully, so that means he was in transition and he had to complete some tasks to become a full member of the gang. And one thing that was required of him was him attacking this man. And it was, I would say to him, he probably was happy that Batman showed up and literally fight the gang off. And he actually escaped without being harmed, without being getting into a fight. And I'm gonna say wise choice. So let's continue. I kind of feel like everybody I kind of feel like everybody in that scene. So you were getting to like that particular scene. I know that there were like a lot of people trying to beat him at the same time, but many of the time it was one on one. Like everybody was just waiting their turn to get into a fight. But I kind of do like the scene where everybody attacked him at once, but that was for a short while because most of the time it was always one on one. I don't know what it is with Hollywood that they think that people that want to attack you would attack you one on one. Normally, everybody just group together and take you down, especially if they are in a criminal group like that. But you know what? Okay, this particular scene over here, you can see Inspector Jim. Yes, the Jim actually invited Bruce to the crime scene, and you can see the unrest of the police officers around the crime scene because they didn't like Batman being in their business, they didn't like Batman being around. And this is the thing, they didn't really appreciate what he was doing. Many of the police officers feel some kind of way. Even the later on, even the that commissioner at the end, he also had a problem with Batman being there. So let's get into it. Let's go. Yeah.
He's with me, officer. Let him through. Detective,
Got blunt force trauma, lacerations on the head.
all this blood is from his head.
No, most of it's from his hand. The mayor was up here alone.
Let's play a game, just me and you.
There's a cipher, too.
Any of this mean anything to you? I cut you a lot of slack, Jim, because we got
Okay,
history.
we're gonna stop it there. We're gonna stop it there quickly before we talk about the commissioner that just came in, Pete. Pete Savage. He actually came in later. Okay, this is the thing. The first thing that I didn't understand was why was the Riddler leaving like notes for Batman in many of his crime scene, because it was not one crime scene. He has been doing it, and this is the thing. He actually, we will find out later. We kind of find out later that he thought they were working together, which Bruce actually, well, Batman actually told him that no, we are not working together, and he actually, the Riddler, got upset about that, and he screamed a lot. But with that being said, this is the crime scene of Commissioner Mitchell. You can see his head being wrapped with the duct tape, and literally he couldn't move. Let's just say when he was attacked, he had no chance to fight back because it was unexpected, and he was focusing on watching the news and the TV instead of watching his environment. Now, what I don't understand was how easily the Riddler broke into Mitchell's apartment, because shouldn't there be security as the mayor? Shouldn't he have like uh bodyguards and security around? Because I didn't see any securities around, or were they like downstairs or something? But you know what, we're gonna get into it. Okay, right here you can see Pete, the commissioner, before he was attacked later on. You can see Pete literally going at Gordon going at Jim for literally allowing Batman to be there, and he was not happy because they were pressed downstairs, and he didn't want people to think that the police. I kind of feel like he didn't want the public to know that the police were working with a vigilante that was the Batman, and I kind of feel like it robbed um, the police in the wrong way, that Batman was really interfering in many of the work. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna hear what he had to say to Jim.
This is way over the line. He's involved in this? No, he's not involved. How do you know? What does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still. I want him out of here. Good fella.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that particular scene right now. Yes, we finally found out that the person that actually found Mitchell's dead body was his son. Yes, and which Bruce actually at last actually felt a kind of way, because their story was almost alike. The only difference was Bruce's family, the whole of them actually died, but he kind of felt some kind of way and some kind of link between him and the kid. So let's continue, because these particular scenes were actually really interesting, and this was like the start of the movie. Don't forget, one of the first scenes of the movies. So
We really gotta go, man.
Mayor Mitchell was a fighter for the city, and I will not rest until this killer is found.
The city's eating itself.
okay, to be sincere, I would just prefer to put this movie short clip up there. But since it's a paid movie, I guess they're gonna copyright it all the time. So I might as well just do a review on it, so that if they do that again, I might as well just write for fair use in all of that. With that being said, you can see Batman riding over here, and you can see the poster for the election still on the walls of the streets, and Batman literally talking about what is going on in Gotham, and how the city is eating itself, and how crime is rising after 2 years. After 2 years, the crime literally rise more than it should be. And he was literally like talking about what was happening in Gotham. So let's get in this. Let's continue, because I wanna. Okay, here. This particular scene here, let's go back a little bit. This particular scene here, you can see Bruce in the cave, yeah, and he was literally like trying to um check on the code and depict, like solve the puzzle that the Riddler had left him on the crime scene. And let's go into it. Let's get into it.
The killer left this with the Batman.
Apparently.
Why is he writing to you?
I don't know you.
It's getting serious, Bruce. If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left.
What I'm doing is my family's legacy. Alfred.
Okay, this particular scene I had to cut like a lot of it. I cut a lot of it out because the Batman movie is up to 2 hours and some, is it 30 something or 40 something minutes. It's almost 3 hours. So I had to literally like cut this movie very, very short to just to be able to put it in one particular movie. Now in one particular clip. There you can see afraid in this particular part. He was talking about the Wayne company when he was actually scolding Bruce, talking about he cannot continue this behavior, and you can see Bruce being unsettled, unhappy, and he actually told afraid that he's doing his family legacy, and he doesn't care what happens to him. Bruce is totally deep in trying to solve his family murder. So let's continue. Let's continue. I'm just gonna, I don't know where the volume is because I would like to mute it and let it run for a while and then come back to more of that. So let's go. But since I can't find it, we're just gonna continue the way it is. So okay, this is particularly, let's get into this next scene over here because Bruce finally solved the puzzle and it was written drive. So we're gonna go back to where I actually cut it enough so that we can watch how the puzzle was solved. Alfred was trying to solve it. In the end, they ended up finding the answer to the puzzle.
Double symbols to start. Try letters. See what it reads.
What if it's not a partial key? What if it's the whole key? You don't trust me?
You mean like you trust me?
Okay, we're gonna stop there. We're gonna actually stop there. Now, in this particular scene, in the previous scene that you saw, they were solving the puzzle from the Riddler, and it actually showed topic like it actually came up drive, and the answer was drive after solving the puzzle. And this is the thing. Bruce actually had to go with Jim to where the mayor had a car, and he had fleets of cars, like a lot of cars for being a mayor. That's a lot. Like if you go down to his garage, there were like around 20 cars down there. And this is the thing, in one of the cars, and if you remember in the previous scene, in the first scene where we saw Mitchell being duct taped, you will also understand that his thumb, one of his thumb was cut off, and there was a USB stick that was attached to attached to his thumb. And we will get back into that because I'm gonna say this, when I saw that particular scene, I was like, okay, this Riddler is kind of, I think he might need help mentally, but let's get into it.
It's been 2 years now, and I don't even know who you are, man.
Some drive.
Oh, shit. No idea. That's the Iceberg Lounge. Never get in there without a warrant.
I want to see the pen.
Okay, so the crime actually led them to I'm gonna say to Penguin, because Penguin was the proprietor. I wouldn't say proprietor, he was more like the person running uh the the lounge. And later on, we will see Batman actually confronting him. The first scene that was the first scene that we saw of the twins. If you know anything about the twins, if you don't know, please research it, because this video is getting long and I don't want to talk about or explain any topic on the twins. So we're just gonna continue where we saw it. And this is the thing. Yes, the thumb drive actually had like a lot of information, and also information on the late Mayor Mitchell and his affairs that he had. And this is the thing. We come to find out that Mitchell was actually opening his mouth, and but that had nothing to do with the Riddler. That had absolutely nothing to do with the Riddler. Don't forget, the Riddler thinks he's actually doing justice and getting rid of the criminal. But in the meantime, the Riddler did not act. He was thinking he was the judge and jury of Gotham. So we're just gonna continue in this particular scene. You can see a little bit of the action scene over here. Let's go.
What's the problem? Says he wants to see the penguin. Get out of here, Pete. What's rolling with him? I want to know who she is. Don't let me hurt you. You know my reputation? Yeah, I do.
Okay, before we cut into this, because I'm gonna call this one over here a romantic scene. Yes, we're gonna call it. Batman actually went to question the question Penguin on the case about the missing girl, and what came up was that Penguin said he didn't know anything about it. He didn't know anything about the case, and he actually tried to like I don't know what he was doing over there, trying to like antagonize or what, or threaten, I don't know, Batman, and asking him if he knew his reputation. Hello, Penguin. Hello, I think we all know your reputation is not that nice. But with that being said, we actually had Batman actually asking him a lot of questions on what is happening and about the crime, but Batman at this point didn't get any answer. Even with all of that fighting and breaking into the club, it didn't help him that much. Now he actually, before that, he saw Selena over here, Catwoman. He saw Selena actually coming with a drink and literally dropping the drink on the table, and actually looking at the photos as if she knew the girl on the photo. So he took notice. So Bruce Batman took notice of that and Selena's body language. So he actually followed her. Let's just call it what it was. He stalked her. Yes, it was weird. It was very, very weird, because he had to watch her change her clothes. And I mean, dude, you could just look away and wait until she comes back. But no, he didn't remove his eyes. He watched her the whole time, which I found very, very extremely weird. So let's continue. He actually followed her to where she was trying to rob, I think, the late Mayor Mitchell's. She was breaking into his safe, trying to get a passport of her friend, the one that you saw with the black eye. Yeah, she was trying to get the passport from Mitchell's apartment, but was confronted by Batman. And Bruce actually thought that maybe Selena did it, but she actually had to explain herself that she didn't have any hand in that. So let's continue.
Hear that?
Hey, give me that.
He hurt her? That's why he killed him?
What? Hey, I didn't kill anybody. I'm here for my friend. She's trying to get the hell out of here, and this son of a bitch stole her passport.
Let's go talk to her.
Jesus, what am I gonna do? She's just a kid.
Commissioner Pete Savage, who was found dead earlier tonight.
Okay, let's stop it over there. Yeah, so they went home to talk to the friend of Selena, but she wasn't there. She was nowhere to be found. And Selena was still being worried. And I'm gonna say in that particular scene, she had a lot of cats. Like I would say I'm not a cat person, but cats love me a lot. Whenever I go to people that have cats home, I always have cats running around, coming close to me. I don't know why, because I would think that I'm a dog person because I was growing up. My family had dogs, so we had dogs in the house. I would say I am more of a dog person, but I always get cats coming to me, and I don't understand the feeling, but maybe I'm both. It could be I could be a dog and a cat person. At this point I think I love all animals. I might be a cat and a dog person. So you can be both, I think so. So she had a lot of cats in her apartment. The apartment was turned over, like literally trashed, because somebody had to come and there was a fuss with the kidnapping, and I don't understand why the friend didn't leave the first day, because she should have left. And knowing the situation that was happening in Gotham, like Gotham is the city of crime, I don't understand why the friend actually decided to stay there. So let's continue.
I killed your man because he was not who he pretended to be. I will kill again and again till the truth about our city will finally be unmasked.
You really don't care what happens to me in there tonight, do you?
Look at me. Looks good. Here.
There was a rat. We had an informant on Salvatore Maroni. That's
Okay, before we get into this particular scene over here, this particular scene was Carlson. I think he was on drugs or he was drunk, because he was just busy opening his mouth and telling Selena all the business. And I think that Carlson was frightened and afraid as well. And he was afraid of his life. So he probably thought he was on a death row, so he was just opening his mouth anyways. And don't forget, what happened to Selena's friend was because of she literally listened to Mitchell, and Mitchell told her everything, so that was why she actually lost her life. And at first I was thinking maybe it was the Riddler that took her life, but later on we find out that her life was not taken by the Riddler. Instead, it was taken by Falcone. So let's continue this particular scene. You will hear actually the lady close to Carlson telling him this was what got the Russian girls. Let's continue.
we got him out of the drops business.
He's talking about the Maroni case.
But if
Hey, I don't want to hear this. This is the kind of pillow talk that got that Russian girl disappeared.
Where's Annika?
Out of my face. I don't know. Yeah, but you know her. Who took her? What have you heard? Is she okay? Just keep your voice down.
How you been?
Yeah, I've been.
Okay, we're gonna stop over here because Selena actually went she actually followed the girl, asking her where's Ronica, because now the girl's name is Ronica, her friend. And the girl said she didn't know, and she literally told her if she wants to die, why she's talking about that case in that place, and she should be aware of her environment, that is not everywhere, that you cannot say things in just wherever you think it is. And you can see Falcone over here. At this point, this particular scene over here, Falcone have not noticed that he is talking. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the spoiler right now. He is talking to his daughter. Yes. We later on found out that Selena is Falcone's daughter. And how we found out, you're gonna see. I'm gonna show you how we found out. And he was just asking, and then Bruce got into his feelings and asking her like if she had a relationship with Falcone, and she denied it and said she doesn't have any, and that was not his topic. But Bruce was a lot. He was jealous. He was absolutely jealous and wanted to know what was happening. But you know what? Let's continue. Because it's already 29 and I want to finish this a review very quick.
Okay. I was just headed back upstairs.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay, this particular scene over here, you can see.
If we find the rat, maybe it'll lead us to him.
Okay. You could see in the previous scene where Carlson was being attacked by the Riddler and duct taped, and you're gonna see what happens. You know what? Let's just continue playing it until where we saw Carlson literally crashing into the church. So let's continue going. Let's go. I think this was the scene in the church where Bruce actually went for Mitchell's funeral, and he had a stranger talking about close to him. There was a stranger talking about the system never helped his daughter, and Mitchell had it coming. Whatever happened to Mitchell, he actually deserved it. The man being very, very cold on this topic. So let's continue. Let's go.
I was just another rich scum sucker.
You know, you really could be doing more for this city. I'm gonna go pay my respects. Will you wait for me? I wanna continue this.
Christ, it's Coulson.
There's a bomb under the stairs!
What's he looking at? Gordon! The guy's gonna get himself killed in there. If I didn't do exactly what he said, he'd kill me. I'm so sorry. Looks like a combination lock.
Okay, let's stop over there. Let's stop over there because I had to stop it over there. Now we can see in this particular scene where Coulson is attached with a bomb around his neck. He actually suggested they cut it off, and Batman said, if you want to have your head, we will not be cutting it off. We need a combination lock. So the Riddler actually had a riddle for Coulson, and at the end of the day, there were things that Carlson couldn't say because he knew if he said it, he was going to lose his life. Not only his life, but his family life. And he couldn't actually expose that particular information. And this is the thing. Even the price, he said he got, is it $10,000 for the bribe, which I find it very interesting. Nah, I don't believe Carlson took 10,000. I think he probably took a lot more bribe. But you know what? Let's continue this particular scene and we will continue talking about it. Let's go.
Not if you want to keep your head.
I'm just an instrument here to unmask the truth.
Can we get somebody out here? This thing's gonna kill me!
I'm giving you a chance. No one ever gave me a chance. 3 riddles in 2 minutes. You give me the answers, and I'll give you the code for the lock. Riddle number 2. If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
He's asking how much it costs for you to turn your back. How much?
10 grand? He didn't ask me that. Come on.
He's gonna kill you.
I'm a dead man either way you're talking to.
Okay, we're gonna stop there before we get into that other particular scene. Now the Riddler actually was exposing Coulson and what he did, and he asked for informations. And even Bats tried to help Coulson out of this particular incident, but Coulson was not budging. He rather died than actually answer a lot of the Riddler's questions. And even at one point, Bruce actually added a question. He said, well, Bruce, that he didn't ask me that. When you saw that scene where he said he didn't ask me that. And this is the thing. Coulson didn't budge because he was afraid they were going to attack. So who is going to attack your family? What kind of organization? And this is the thing with Falcone also. When we get to Falcone's part, you will also notice that Falcone didn't say anything. So I want to know who is the man on top of this crime organization, because it's more like a crime organization and we don't know who is on top. And normally, we would think that Falcone is the one running everything, but at this point, it seems like Falcone is not the boss of what is happening in Gotham. Maybe he had political alliance and he has to do some favors, but even I don't think Falcone is on top, because at the end of the day, he actually said something like he would rather take all of the information to his grave. Now, we will get to that scene. Let's continue over here.
Dead man, okay?
Coulson's blood is on his hands. Maybe it's on yours. He would rather die than talk.
So that particular scene over there, I had to cut it short because they were trying to like blame Batman for causing that. I'm like, hold on a second. How do you blame somebody that had nothing to do with that case on him? And the police, many of the police officers tried to unmask Batman, so he had to fight back, and Jim had to actually get into it and literally stop everybody from fighting and trying to unmax Bat. And the police inspector, I don't know, I think he's the new commissioner, literally blame Bat for Carlson's death. And I'm like, hold on a second. He was trying to help Carlson. He literally told Carlson to tell the truth. But Carlson didn't want to tell the truth because if he did, he would have lost more than his life. He would have lost his family lives too. Everybody in his family would have been attacked. And this is the thing, the fact that the commissioner tried to gaslight this particular incident and put it on Batman was something hilarious and funny. Not that funny, but I would be mad as well. Why are you trying to put the incident and what happened on me? If I was Batman, I would probably be like, so he actually said maybe Colton was afraid of you, which he was. So let's continue. I don't think I'll be stopping so much of the clips anymore because I'm just only gonna stop it when it is important. So we're gonna run it for a while. So that was the part he was trying to like escape. And this,
Crowd you're stealing from, boy.
You know, I would love to sit and go over every gory detail with you, that boy. But, those assholes are coming back.
You think you can come after my money, huh? What the hell is this?
okay, let's just cut that particular clip over there. So what happened in that clip was, Selena doing what she normally does, which is stealing. But we will get into that reason why Selena was stealing the money from Penguin, because she thinks at the end of the day we're gonna find out. Anyways, she was talking one time with Batman about how she deserved it and how Falcone owes her that money. And literally, Bats was not having it. But we will get into this. You saw that particular clip with Selena trying to steal, and there was a girl's body. So it's literally like women keep dying in this movie. Like a lot of women that had nothing to do with political wise or anything keep losing their lives. And I don't like it. I really don't. But let's continue.
Cop, batshit cop.
You a rata.
El rata alada? Yeah. A rat with wings. You know what that sounds like to me? A friggin' bat! Huh? You ever think of that?
Piece of shit, cop Kenzie. Her body was in his car. I'm gonna find him, and I'm gonna make him pay.
Falcone.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Falcone owes me that money.
He owes you?
Yeah, and a lot more.
No, really. I want to know why a guy like Falcone would owe you anything.
Because he's my father!
Whoa.
The Waynes and the Arkhams.
Okay, we're gonna stop that particular scene over there because Selena had to literally bust out and she literally had to go like loud because Bats was not having it and he thought maybe they had like a romantic relationship. So this is the thing. I never knew Falcone was Selena's father, but you know what? Wow. Okay, that's a new one. With that being said, let's continue and I will continue. And this particular scene over here was the Riddler exposing the Wayne's family and literally talking about, I didn't see anything really criminalizing in the Wayne's family apart from the mother of Bruce being I think she had a mental issue. And her mother literally, the only problem from her mother's family was the grandmother killing the father. So I don't see a big history here. So it's something probably, don't forget, in those days men were doing a lot of unspeakable things to women, especially when women didn't have rights. So if she did that, probably there was a reason. And I understand a lot of people be like, oh, maybe it wasn't self-defense and she just did it, because that actually at the end of the day impacted Martha's mental thoughts and mental being, because she had to go to institution, she had to go to the psych ward, the psycho ward, and literally try to get help. And this is the thing. The journalists that tried to expose this particular family topic, I don't find it funny. I don't find it funny, but did he deserve to die? No. Should he have been put in jail for trying to expose that particular like that there are some things that I don't feel like you should be talking about, especially when it comes to people's mental health. And Bruce's father trying to literally stop him, even trying bribing, but I don't think he should have died. He even told Falcone to put the fear of God. Falcone said sometimes fear of God is not all. You can't just put fear of God in people. You have to take it way far, which I don't support. But at the same time, why would you want to rob that, especially when it comes to topic about psychological or mental health issues? You literally bullying. You're bullying somebody. That was what it was. So let's go.
Families. 20 years ago, one reporter set out to uncover the dark truth. How when Martha was just a child, her mother brutally murdered her father, then committed suicide. Thomas Swain tried to force this crusading reporter into a hush-money agreement to save his mayoral campaign. But when the reporter refused, Wayne turned to longtime secret associate Carmine Falcone. I hope you're listening, Bruce Wayne. This is your legacy, too.
You Bruce Wayne.
Okay, we're gonna stop over there. I don't understand why the Riddler has a problem with Bruce. Like, my dude, I don't understand why you have a problem with Bruce because he was saying Bruce have to pay the price for his father's sins. I'm like, hell no, excuse me, but if my father is like, my father's sinning and I have to pay. He did, they did. No. Everybody gotta answer their name. Everybody gonna answer to what they did. I'm not answering for nobody. I'm not answering for your sin. Anybody, my kids sin, my sister's sin, anybody sin. Everybody answer your own goddamn sin. And I feel like this is another thing. The Riddler was not only mentally demented, but he was also filled with rage and jealousy towards Bruce because he felt like being in the orphanage, he didn't get enough attention, and therefore Bruce was getting all the attention. This is the thing, Bruce never asked for any of this attention. His parents just passed away, and I understand when you're famous, people make you the center of attention more if you have something happening to you, and more than other people. And this is the thing, I do not understand why he actually put. And another thing that I uncovered, I feel like the Riddler knows who Bruce is. I'm gonna say it. He knows exactly who Bruce Wayne is. And because there were a lot of things he was putting in those tiny cards that he was sending Bruce, even the one he hanged on there was a particular scene where he hanged like a letter in a bat's cage, and Bruce had to retrieve it, and he was like, who is it? Is it Batman? So this is the thing. I am almost 70% sure that the Riddler knows that Bruce is Batman. 70%, the other 30, I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't, maybe he's just figuring it out. But the way he goes after Batman a lot kind of gives it away. So let's go.
Carmine Falcone.
I thought I might hear from you.
Is it true?
What do you want to know here, kid?
Did you kill him? For my father?
Just report I had some dirt. Some very personal stuff. Family history. You know, your father tried to pay the guy off, but he wasn't going for it. So he came to me. He said, Carmine, I want you to put the fear of God in this guy. And after what happened with that reporter, Maroney was worried that your father would be in my pocket.
I'm just so worried. I don't know where she is.
Okay, we are gonna stop it there. Yeah, Bruce went to Falcon's to the club, and trying to ask for like informations on what happened and why his father was attached or connected to Falcone, and Falcone had to literally explain what happened. And like I said before, if you listen from the starting, you will hear. If you didn't listen, go back and listen again. Falcone had to explain that even the fear of God was not enough. And he also explained about Moroni's case, the reason why Moroni was taken off. This is the thing. Moroni was afraid that, Bruce's father was going to be in Falcon's pocket after that help, after the fact that he actually helped him out with the reporter, that Moroni actually had to send like somebody to assassinate Bruce's father. But at the same time, Martha was there. So Martha actually was like collateral damage, I will say. Martha was collateral damage. So with that being said, I feel like Falcon felt unrest and he had to do something about Moroni. And that's maybe the many, I'm gonna say that's the reason why Falcon actually ratted out he ratted out Moroni and got him arrested and taken off. So let's continue. This particular scene here is Selena confronting her dad. But at this scene, she came at first asking for help for her friend. She didn't actually tell him is directly that he is her father. She actually just came and said, you know what, I need your help. I notice you are a very important man in this, in Gotham, and maybe you can like use your political, power to help me find my friend. Which it behind, I think that she already knows that Falcone, her father, had murdered her friend. So we're gonna show you that clip, and they actually got into a fight. So they got into a fight, and literally Falcon actually almost tried to murder his own daughter, talking about, oh, your mother, you are behaving like your mother. Your mother did the same thing. So this is exactly what happened between me and the mom, your mom, which actually begs me to actually question how his relationship with Selena's mother was. It made me want to look into that some more, because since we are talking about Selena being his own kid, I would like to get some more background stories about the reason why Falcon had to do that, because Falcon always have a reason for doing something. But in this particular case, trying to murder his own kid, even though he had been exposed publicly, that didn't make any sense. But let's continue.
That maybe you could help me find her.
Sorry, beautiful. I'll be right back.
You said you gave some information, some draft.
Hey, Dad,
What?
this is for my mother.
You don't think this hurts me? My own flesh and blood, huh? You made me do this. Just like your mother. You think you're gonna scare me with that mask and that cape? Whatever I know, whatever I've done, it's all going with me. To my grave. What did you say?
Enjoy your night at Blackgate, Carmine.
Oh, so you're a big man now, Arthur.
Maybe I am.
Really? As to me, you're always just a gimp in an empty suit.
Okay, we are gonna stop it over there. So this is what happened. He had a confrontational, argument with the penguin, and they were going at it. But at the same time, he got shot, and people actually thought it was the penguin that actually shot Falcon, but it was not the penguin that shot Falcon. It was the Riddler. Now, if you remember one of the gift cards that the Riddler gave to Bruce, Batman, was written "Bring your friend to light." Now, that particular topic actually had to come out in this particular episode, because even when the Riddler was telling Bruce that they work together, they were partners, he asked him to bring him to light, and he did. So they were like, there was a partnership, which Bruce actually at the end of the day denied that there was no partnership, there was nothing. And they actually found the Riddler. So you know what, let's continue the clip. And because we are almost getting to the end of this movie, because I want to be doing Sonny the Egg Shock later, I would prefer to put a clip, but every time you put it you get copyright, so I might as well just do a review on it. So let's go. And please, people, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Help this channel grow, because this is the thing. I will always put a clip. If this channel, help this channel get at least up to 100,000. That is what I'm looking up to. Help this channel get up to 100,000, because this is the thing. I'm hoping to grow this channel in this particular year before the end of the year. Help us get up to 100,000. I would really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It is very important to me. With that being said, for me to continue doing shows like this, and also putting some short clips for you guys, because this is the thing. I will continue putting on short clips, because if I don't want to talk about a topic, or if I don't have the chance, what I do is I edit some short clips and I just put it on my YouTube, on my channel, so that you guys can literally enjoy it without me having to come up here and talk about it. Now, with that being said, let's continue.
Got something back on one of the IDs. Edward Nashton.
We've been doing this together. You're part of this.
We didn't do anything together.
We did. What did we just do? I asked you to bring him the light, and you did. We're such a good team.
We're not a team.
This is not how this was supposed to go.
Ooh, that was exactly okay. Before we get into that, he was not happy when he found out that Batman was not working with him. He was not happy. He was quite sore and very bitter, because he was talking about, we are supposed to be here together and watch how the city sinks. And this is the thing. He had like people following him online, and you will see that later, literally masquerading as the Riddler and calling themselves Vengeance. Like, I don't understand. Vengeance on who? Who hurt you so bad? You think the other people in Gotham are not suffering as much as you are? This is another thing with criminals or people that hurt other people. What I don't understand. You're trying to hurt an innocent person that is going, especially most of the time, through the same thing that you are going through, and you think it's okay, because a lot of people are going through almost similar. Look, when you look at the economy, everybody's suffering, apart from the rich. Yes, apart from the rich, but apart from the rich, everybody else, yeah, we gotta work for it. We have to go through the same system. And literally, I don't understand why people attack each other. Especially, why are you attacking another poor person, or another person that is also struggling like you? Why do you feel the need to attack them? Like, I don't know. But the Riddler doesn't only attack poor people. He mostly attacks politicians. So this is another thing. What he was trying to debunk what was happening and all the politicians and this and their lies. But Bella Real, the next candidate for the mayor seat, I don't understand, because Bella's history was not really put out there. Maybe there was no stain on Bella and there was nothing. But I still don't understand why the Riddler would go after Bella, the next candidate. But you know what? We're gonna continue. Let's continue. We're gonna find out about his plans and all, because this movie is almost getting to up to an hour. So let's go.
Special thanks to everyone for the tips on detonators. I just want to say this will be my last post for a little while. Tomorrow's election day. The day of judgment is finally upon us. When the vans blow, the flooding will happen so fast, evacuation will not be an option. It's okay. You'll be there, waiting.
I just need your attention.
So that particular scene is Bat coming from the roof. So okay, we're gonna stop there because yeah, we almost done. Yeah, and another thing is I have to do Sonic the Hedgehog next. So yeah, follow me for more. Follow me for more because I have a lot of movies that I'm gonna be movie clips that I'm gonna be putting up in here. And if I can't put the clips without copyright, if there is a copyright, I'm gonna definitely be doing a review on it so that it flows more into it, and I can actually tell you guys what happened, the full topic. This is another thing. I kind of like reviews and me actually telling you about the movies than just putting the clips out there, because this is the thing with the clips don't tell you all the stories like I would tell you if I have to sit here and narrate what happened in the movies and explain the incidents and everything, because I have already watched the movie, so I know what happened in the movie, so I can actually tell you what happened more than the clips. But this is the thing with reviews. The things with reviews is it takes a lot of time, and we're gonna be talking a lot. Yes. So this particular scene over here, you saw Batman trying his best to fight off the impersonators of the Riddler and get it one time almost overcome. So there is another thing that he took that I didn't understand. He had like a green substance that he actually had to like inject himself with to have that rage and that energy to fight off the one of the impersonators of the Riddler that was actually almost going to kill Selena. So we're gonna get into that, and because this series is almost finishing, again, this particular review is finishing, I'm gonna say this: please like and subscribe. I put a lot into my channel, and I'm hoping to grow this. So let's get this, to be sincere, let's get this channel up to 100,000 subscribers this year. And you know what? I want to celebrate. And you know what? I'm going to promise you guys this. If we get up to 100,000 subscribers this year, you will definitely get to meet me, not in person, but I might actually come out of the scene and you might actually see me, my face. Yeah. With that being said, let's continue, and here we go. So this is a promise. We get up to 100,000, I will come out to say thank you for subscribing, and I will actually do a video of me. Okay, let's go.
Take it easy. Who the hell are you? I'm vengeance.
Your vengeance on who? Yeah, the bat's going down there to try to save the people. You can see everybody just crammed together. It was total darkness. Nobody could see anything.
We must rebuild people's faith.
Vengeance won't change the past. I have to become more. They can give us the power to endure.
You can see the rescue team coming. Okay, you know what? We're gonna stop it in that particular scene over there. Yeah, you could see the rescue team coming and trying to rescue people. At the end of the day, people actually admire Batman, and they felt like the city loved him. But this is the thing: when people love you too much, especially when you are acting as a superhero, they actually kind of put a lot on you. So that is exactly why I'm going to talk about Superman. Superman, in the other hand, can do that because he can literally hear people's when they are in distress. He can hear them, and he can literally go over there and try to help. Batman is only a human being, so there is still a lot of crimes that is going to be still happening. So let's continue. And this particular scene was Selena trying to tell him, you know what, let's run away together. Let's go over there. Let's go and, rob billionaires and get their money. See, Bruce doesn't need anybody's money. He has enough money on his own. But later on, Selena actually left him. But you know what? We have come to the end of this movie. And I'm going to say this, if you have stayed till this point and you've listened to everything, I'm going to say this. Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe.
It'll be fun.